Also, loading? Why are we having a fucking loading in the middle of the screen? What is this unprofessionalism, man? What's up with that? Excuse me. Give me a second. There we go. It's slowly opening. Give it another half a minute until it actually loads. There we go. Amazing. Oh, yeah. Okay. Today, we don't really have any game to watch or to play or anything, so it doesn't matter. What do we do? As always, share. Copy this, close this. 555. Amazing number. Beautiful number, I guess, yeah. Also, no, wait. He wants to open this thing for the love of God. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Thank you very much. Otherwise, as always, this thing will have just chosen to not work. Why does it do that? Isn't it amazing that it always just stops working for some random reason? Can happen. Also, I hate YouTube. Not YouTube. I hate. What do I hate? Am I actually hating something? I don't really hate anything. I only hate all stuff. No, sorry. I'm putting with the many words into random sentences. Excuse me. There we go. Today, what do we have today? What if I leave it completely empty? Like, obviously, you get that by that's not having any text whatsoever. It will be, therefore, expecting nothing. What if today, not much? There we go. We have the Gaso open. We need this other thing to also open. Updates on Microsoft Edge. Amazing. I don't care. I do not care at all. But thank you so much for the offer. I guess it will be appreciated, taken into consideration, and probably discarded. But thank you. Anyways. So can I copy? No, not this. Why? This browser, for some random reason, has like a fixation on 515 and stream for some reason. I have no clue why, but it happens. Yes, can be the case. Anyways, we have. What else do we need to set up? This. What's up? Do you have sound? No, you don't have sound. Great. Why? How do I actually have an entire page muted? Well, at other times, like for 1 second, I click by mistake on instead of mute this window or this tab, I guess, mute the whole site, and it never again turns itself on by default. Meanwhile, this one has and will probably remain muted for all existence for some random reason. What happened there? Anyways, can be the case, I guess. Can very much be the case. Next image. Also, reload this thing. What is up? Transform. A reset transform. There we go. And me? Why am I not present? There we go. Don't you love when the thing chooses to eliminate you from existence for some random reason? Also, I was misclicking. There we go. This we can only use this, I guess. These very same eyes, and let me make them a little bit bigger. This is quite uncanny, actually. Like, you look at the corner and you end up asking yourself, what the fuck is that image? What are those eyes? But can happen is, can very much be the case. Can't that also? We should get something. Haven't I actually thought about getting something like a roll for pings? I never thought about that. Pings for when I stream. I don't really think it's good actually, but no, yeah. Let me completely track back on what I said. We don't really need something like that. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. I don't know. Anyway, let me finish setting up, and after that, I guess we're gonna be just waiting. Wow, nothing better than that. To eternally wait on things, to eternally possess an unwavering patience of some sort. Yeah. To be on the lookout for something, to constantly be hoping for something. What a beauty, what a beauty. Life is but full of myriads of such beautiful things, I guess. Also, don't you love when technology fails? It can fail. Can't that fail, brother? For sure it can. Give me a second. Trees and trees and loading. No, thank you. Biometric data. We don't need that. You don't need that particularly. Zero. Random page. Okay, we're out. Now we close one shot and we add the other one. Well, and there we go. Everything is done. No, almost everything. Okay, now for real, we have everything there. I still remember the older days where I still use my phone to read chat, but where I used to have it literally next to my keyboard, so because I had to look at it, it would literally make me bend my neck in a way in which I will end up with neck pain for the rest of the day. That was so amazing. Those days, I remember I had to join stream not because I was stoned, but rather because I was like passing out from the headaches. Isn't that outstanding, I guess? But yeah, here we are, done. Anything else? No, not really. Good morning. It has been a while, and I don't know. It has been a good enough portion of time, and I don't really feel like doing anything else. We could try to play something, but I don't know. I feel like sometimes it's quite meaningless. Actually, there is too much of playing stuff for the sake of keeping oneself busy. The underlying activity of having to pay attention to a video game allows you to not have to get so focused on anything that you have to say, you have to look at in terms of ideas and whatnot, and yeah, at least for me, that's detrimental actually. Not always detrimental. The issue is, yeah, sometimes some things do require some patience to be properly said, so we shall better try to take care of that very same problem in these instances instead of anything else. So yeah, it has been a long while. How much? 2 days or so? It feels like, I don't know, these last handful of days have been feeling like the longest actually. I don't know, it has been amazing. The month of May, yes, with it, that whole sensation of almost an entire year at this point. I don't know, something about how at times the quality of things, or no, the quantity of things, rather, I don't think so much the quality, but rather the quantity of things that gets to pass through your head, as long as you're willing to let them exist, can very much make it feel like many more hours can fit into what in reality is just 60 minutes, and sometimes it's strange enough of a sensation. Sometimes it's, I wouldn't say displeasing, but just what gives you that weirdness, that tiny layer of electricity onto your whole body without you ever expecting it, or something that you cannot ever get accustomed to, I guess, no matter how much you have already felt that before. Now that you encounter it yet again, it still has that weirdness onto it, I guess. But yeah, point is, we're here just to talk to. I don't really have much more to say. I don't really feel like saying anything else or doing anything else. We are good. Games will still wait out there, so better to wait it out a little bit more, I guess. And besides that, anything else? Not really, not really. Good to be back as always. I mean, I remember I have already said that before. The whole sensation of sometimes I realize what you understand, you feel like doing, not with your utmost interest, but rather with a handful of willfulness and the act of not being entirely sure of doing anything like that sort, and ending up in the realization that I don't know, I don't actually gain that much from not doing it, I don't I literally like this anyways? Why would I try to not do it? What's the point in not trying actually? Like, which purpose am I serving when I don't do what I understand I like and I enjoy, and I am actually willing to do and interested in making sure happens and all of those things? It has with it a weird sensation of I am not 100% sure of it. I Let's say like this. I cannot entirely explain why I like doing some things, but I can give you at least the explanation that if I realize that I want to do something and I choose to not do it, I will actually feel bad for any kind of reason. Like, as always, the problem with any aspect that has to do with all of those mental phenomena is that there are way too many causes to attribute to whatever. Like, yeah, maybe it comes from the aspect of yeah, I did actually understand what I wanted to do, and I was just incapable of capturing by myself what was the thing that needed to happen to blah 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 blah. This this other aspect of I, by doing this, can see that I gain what I do want, and by not allowing myself punishing what I get to be by eliminating those other possibilities, I just slowly generate an abuse. It's whatever. Point is, yeah, I cannot really give you a reason. I haven't. It's not okay. No, lie. It's not that I haven't tried understanding it. I haven't really found any particular one yet. Like, even if there is not one singular reason, I haven't found the plethora of them that can explain it in any way. It's or yeah, there are still many pieces of the puzzle that are meant to be discovered, dilucidated, and such. But I don't know. I feel like it's unavoidably something great. Anyways, I don't I don't like when people assume that it is bad to try to pay attention to something that you do have some degree of interest for, some degree of willfulness towards, and yeah, But anyways, we're not really here to just talk about that. The point is, it has been a good handful of days for many other reasons. Amongst one of them has been the continuous consideration for stuff, as always, the possibility to keep on. I guess this time hasn't really been just the studying. It it has always to do something with the study in terms of it feels good to adopt the concept as long as you find it interesting. In my case, I don't really talk out what I studied if I didn't find it at all meaningful. So yeah, there was that aspect. Then the second layer is the application of the knowledge that you have received, the application of the things that you have gained, the application of all those pieces of understanding that you have with yourself applied onto something in terms of now we have the thesis, now we need, or yeah, we have the theory, now we need the practice to generate a proper thesis, something like that, yeah. And in all of that, it's always interesting to see, wow, sometimes what I believed I understood wasn't entirely understood, and what I believed I did actually get was far more complicated than what I was willing to actually say. But I I prefer whenever that gets to happen, the issue is it many times has to be way too forced. I don't really like it. When it happens like that, I don't really enjoy applying knowledge. When you realize that the biggest component is today I am going to just make sure that I apply this thing that I have learned. Mostly, I guess so, because I don't really like. It's not that I don't like it. I don't like it, but I find myself rather applying things that end up being way too annoying to think out. I guess, yeah, way too difficult to actually say. Ah, wow, this is such a great thing to have in mind, and such like so much theory ends up being anyways out way too complicated stuff and way too profound things. But anyways, point is, because of that, then today we end up coming here with the benefit, with the other layer of, and you know what was something great that got to happen thanks to that very same degree of realizations and whatnot. It does seem to be the case. It does feel a lot like, indeed, new conclusions are right. And I don't know. Sometimes it's actually strange. Not, I don't think so that it is related exactly to, you think that you have understood everything about this subject, but rather because in many cases, you don't really get to grasp all the things that are to be understood about anything. You just get to understand enough to not have to worry about all the other things later on. Like, you get a basic enough understanding so that you don't have to keep on asking yourself if this is in itself the proper way to see the thing that you're trying to think about, so to speak. And when that gets to happen, you get to have the sensation of, okay, I can use a bit more of experience, but I don't really have to. I am still capable of doing something whenever this situation arises. So that's enough for me, isn't it? Why will I need anything else? And because of that, also we're lying. Why are we lying? Isn't that amazing? But yeah, I was saying, because of that, then days like this one have the sensation of, well, new an extra piece has been added to the picture. Yet another, I guess you could say, an extra pixel has been gained to amplify the image a little bit more. And that's amazing. No, really, to some degree, but also, I don't know. I lately have been quite heavily interested in the whole theory of some days the knowledge that you actually gain has quite a weight on it, has quite a heaviness to it, like, fuck, I don't want to have to think out this at all. I am not ready to it, and mostly, I guess, in anything that has to do with the fields of quote unquote expertise, not like absolutely real expertise, but just what you assume you understand enough about. They all possess therefore that layer of fuck. I was missing this other piece. You're really telling me that? Also, why are we lying so much? What's up with that? Are we not going to be capable of streaming? We have been losing like. What's up with? We crashed. What? Amazing. Why are we crashing, brother? What's up with? I guess my internet. Not even Twitch. My internet this time. Amazing. I mean, on a way that even if we didn't have Twitch, we will still have YouTube. So it's not entirely justified, but being my internet, whatever it is. Whatever. What a random thing. Can I continue? Or are we going to keep on lying? Let me drink some water, I guess, meanwhile. We will wait it out a little bit. Implying. Okay. I guess if we lose like we lost so far 5% dropped frames, which means like quite a lot of it actually did die. So if we lose, let's say 10%, then I will be forced to actually call it. It means that it is endlessly crashing. There is nothing that I can do about that. So we will see. Meanwhile, let me continue then. And yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it does feel like something that you get to understand also comes with the added weight of how do I fit this new piece of information to this new. In terms of neurons, let's say, you already have constructed your entire scaffolding of ideas, notions, and ways to visualize something, to understand and approach any kind of situation, problem, and similar thing. So, by having to fit something new, when you thought that your already existent system was entirely solid, requires quite a lot of moving around, fiddling with things and seeing how does this actually make any sense. And in all of that, it's interesting to some degree. Not because I think that it always is bound to happen, but know that when it does happen, you will encounter something that will be substantial enough, implying that you do not actually get that much out the subject which you chose in terms of. If I assume that I am an expert, unavoidably every single thing does suppose quite a huge deal of importance, does carry with it a lot of significance and whatnot, but otherwise it doesn't really matter that much. It doesn't really have that much of a value when you are already good at something. The act of having to change things then does become far more difficult and also is much less understandable from way too many perspectives, sadly. It's something quite difficult to in itself assimilate, I feel like. Also, we are still like, isn't that amazing? We are slowly approaching 8%. We are at this point going to reach the 10 in no time whatsoever without any reason as to why that is happening actually, but we will see, I guess. Anyways, let me, before this actually has to die, I guess, continue. And I don't know, it's, in the end, all of those things play a role in the construction of an understanding about the problems that you face and such. And when you get to actually try to understand something, and figure out that indeed this isn't the entirety of it, you can also now finally say, okay, then what's the next step? The whole field I guess it's pretty much a game explanation what not know, but it's still literally. You believe that you have a clear enough picture and you realize I don't really have one, so this field, I believed I found the wall. Now all that I have inside of my field of knowledge is within myself. I don't have anything else to worry about. But you also have to add the layer of wow, I now that I see that it isn't the case, the wall is broken down and I have to explore all that there is out there anyways. And that becomes quite difficult. At that point it becomes quite hard actually. Also, we are not doing good at all. We're at 12%. I said 10%. We're at 12. So I guess that will be it. Anyways, what an amazing stream. But yeah, it's dying. So tomorrow we will try again. I guess. Sorry, it isn't in my hands. Anyways, I'm not. I wish it was me doing something with the internet to be capable of saying, okay, I will stop. But no, fucking died. I guess. Wow. And also there is